Good morning. So, welcome to Sunday morning. And for our today's meet, the purpose is that this is a special lecture which is for parents of medical students. Now, why it's so different? Say, medical is always like a marathon. It is not like a sprint, right? So that's why, as a parent, there are some very important things to understand. And yes, it will make a big difference in the career and in the success of your kid, right, son or daughter. So hello, I'm Dr. Bankim Jani. This is my brief introduction. Right, I did my MBBS and then post graduation in radiology with a dissertation in MRI spine. Then I went into the field of IT also, right? 23 international certifications from Cisco, Microsoft, Sun Microsystems, right? Sun Microsystems, then Novell and CompTIA. These are some of the international companies, right? So list is pretty long, so that's why I'm just putting it in brief. I'm into photography, painting. You can see those things on my YouTube channel, and I'm a marathon runner, right? About 120 medals till date, right? And say we meet every Wednesday over here, then we meet on Saturday, and we meet on Sunday. The whole idea, in association with Vishwa Medical Admission Point VMAP, is that on Wednesday we talk about national exit exam, right? This is the exam which is compulsory whether someone is passing MBBS from India or from abroad. Abroad, those who pass from abroad, they are called as IMG, International Medical Graduates, right? So this exam is compulsory. This Wednesday we talked about PLAB also, right? This is the exam which is for in case if you want to practice in UK or Switzerland, right? Again, coming Wednesday, we'll talk about this. On Saturday, we talk about USMLE, right? I'll say something more about USMLE just within few minutes. Last night, we talked in detail about USMLE. And Sunday is classically, that's where we talk with parents, right? We talk with parents. You can always send your queries, your questions on the number which has been provided over there, right? The timings are over here, it is 8 p.m., that is evening 8 p.m. And on Sunday, as usual, we meet at 11 o'clock in the morning, right? So this is our basic plan. The whole idea is success of yours, right? Whether you talk as a student, so yes, we want that you should be successful, you should become a good doctor, right? Not someone who has just crammed the subject and don't want to insult any of the teacher, but yes, we really don't want that you go on such lines that you just cram it, appear for the exam, and then you find it extremely difficult when it comes to real practice, right? So this is one. And from the perspective of parents, because they play a very major role, into your career. So that's why this Sunday is dedicated for this particular purpose. Chat is on, so you can always ask the questions. About USMLE, last night, we talked in detail about USMLE and we said that there is USMLE Step 1, USMLE Step 2 CK, that is clinical knowledge, and then there is Step 3. Step 1 and Step 2, yes, they can be given in India and all the details they were provided. As mentioned, I said that yes, this is the Step 3. Step 3 which can be given in USA only, right? There is no other option. One has to appear for it. So then the question which was asked was that what about the visa? Well, let's be clear in that. Once you complete your Step 1 and Step 2 CK, your score is important, right? Because that would be indicative of how nicely you have performed, right? So that's why your score is important. At the same time, one more condition means your score, your clearance of Step 1 and Steps 2 CK. Then your score in India, right? That is about your MBBS. So in other words, the your college score. everything is to be submitted, and it is like you have to take admission in USA in your favorite university. Means you have to apply, right? The way any of the student applies, same way you have to apply for universities. University 1, 2, 3, we just write that. But it could be whether you want to practice in, say, Houston, or you want to practice in New York, or you want to this in Washington, right? So many universities are there. You just apply. You apply and you get clearance. That means what you will be getting, that you'll be getting an offer. Yes, we are ready to accept you as student, right? Because after completion of your USMLE 3, you'll be going for this your further medical education. So this is where once you get that admission, you have to go for, you can go for B1, B2, or say there is like a student visa. Yes, you have to go for it. And in your application, you have to mention very clearly about that this is like a research work, right? This is like a research work. Next Saturday, when we'll be discussing USMLE, we'll be talking about even this step 3 in more detail, right? With every detail about the form, how to apply, where to apply, right? We'll go into the depth, because there are so many steps. Why I was not discussing this step 3? Because first, at least you clear step 1 and step 2, right? These details, they were vital. That is how to get your FAMR number. I come across many of the students that when they say we have passed from such university which has got no registration in WDOMS, World Directory of Medical Schools, wdoms.org, right? And then it is a problem. It's a problem. So that's why those initial steps, which are so vital, they were told. Then how to prepare, etc. Yes, but regarding this step 3, next Saturday at 8 p.m., when we'll be discussing USMLE, at that point I'll be talking about all these things in more detail. So much so that when you apply for visa, you have to mention about these things, because yes, it has happened in past that many of the officers or the border patrol officers, they are not aware about these things, right? So that's why few documents, few your IDs, they are playing a major role into that, right? Okay, so more when we meet on Saturday. But yes, this would be the thing, that step 3 can be given in USA only, right? That I mentioned. But yes, you have to go for the visa. Okay, so let's start with our today's topic. And our today's topic is classically for parents. Now, is it applicable to only the parents of medical college, or the parents of, say, students or the medical students? Well, this is true for parents of any student. But why we are stressing on medical student? Because see, if you compare the course of 10th standard, if it is 1 unit, the course of 12th standard is 5 units. But when it comes to course of medical, that is the MBBS, so it is 100 units. One has to study so much. And like other streams, if it is, say, semester 1, whatever the things which were discussed in semester 1, they won't be asked in semester 2, right? Once semester 2 is over, those topics are over, move on to semester 3. Here in medical, it is not like that. Even in final MBBS, you can be asked about the structures which are into the bed of the stomach, right? They can be asked. So that's the reason over here, pressure is very high. Stress level is pretty high. So, but the rewards are also so good, no? So that's the reason a very good support system is vital. Support is vital. You'll be surprised the number of mails which I get, and where students, they pour their heart, they talk about their personal life, they talk about everything, because they their dream is to become a good doctor, but then there are so many obstacles, right? So that's why I always insist that don't worry at all, you can always contact, you can always write to me, right? And I'll try to give you best of the best possible advice. Okay, but as a parent, last time also I talked about five tips, very easy to follow, but they'll play a major role. This time I have changed one, right? I got an email, so I thought that let me make a small change because it was important point. So thanks to that gentleman. So first point, that remains the same. Don't compare, right? Don't compare your kid with anyone else. Never ever compare. Right? I'll be writing in the form of keywords only. And yes, this was also one of the questions, that why do you write? I write because when we write, it becomes more not only from the point of view of understanding, but it's a bit more personal, right? I say PowerPoint is creativity killer, literally. So even when in association with VMAP, right, when we'll be taking other subjects, so you'll find that even, say, last year also we took hundreds of lectures on anatomy, but everywhere the idea was, I always keep it like that, draw it like that okay, this is the brain, right, this is the cerebrum, this is the cerebellum, and that's how I draw, right? So that when you also draw along with me, that the concepts will be more strong and you don't have to cram. You don't have to cram. Your understanding improves. And all these exams which we talked about, they are based on this principle, that your foundation, if the foundation is good, no problems. You will excel. Right? In medical, there is no scope of cramming. Right? For the passing of the exam, things are different. But now these exams, they are competitive exam, and they really test your diagnostic skills. Right? This is what would be tested. So diagnostic skills, they are tested, and diagnostic skills, they can develop only when you have understood the subject well. So that's with that intention, we'll always be making a habit to draw, to write, so that it is easily digestible. Over here also, I will never be writing running long lengthy sentences. It's useless. There is no role of it. No role of it, right? Many times you must have seen, it's fine, means people make the slide in which there are 10 lines, right? And then they literally read those lines. I always say, dear friend, audience is far more intelligent and they can read this thing by themselves. Why are we wasting their time and your time just by reading those PowerPoints? But people do that, right? No, we'll never be going for this thing. Never, ever. Never, ever. Right? We'll write in the form of keywords only. Keywords means those important words which will convey the whole meaning, and same principle will be used when we'll be teaching you any of the subject, any of the 19 subjects, right, into the of the medical. Okay, so this is the first message, that please never ever compare. Never compare, because this comparison and all these things, they are coming from the emails of the students. Yes, they have bluntly said कि सर मेरे डैडी मेरे पड़ोसी के लड़के से कंपैरिजन करते हैं, तो उसके इतने मार्क्स आए और तुम्हारे इतने. It hurts. This is like I'm talking to every mother and every father. Yeah, don't do that. Right? Don't compare. Don't never ever compare. Because three things happen when you start comparing. One, see, kid, when you compare, right, it will decrease the efficiency. I've talked to many of the parents, जैसे कि उनको बताए तो ही पता चलेगा. No, they are smart enough. They know that I'm supposed to progress, right? It is exactly like driving. You teach someone that, okay, this is accelerator, this is brake, this is clutch, this is steering wheel, and then he has learnt bit of driving, and then you take him on road. But as he or she is driving, at every second you say कि अरे there is rickshaw ध्यान रखना, अरे there is cycle वाला ध्यान रखना, अरे there is another car, brake brake brake. Right, that person would be frustrated. That person would be frustrated. Think about yourself. If you are driving and the person who is sitting next to you, अरे ब्रेक मारो, अरे इतनी फास्ट क्यों, अरे इतना स्लो क्यों, what happens? Even if you are driving the car since years, but when someone starts giving you non-stop, it is called as nagging. It hits the brain. When you compare, it's even harsh. It literally decreases efficiency, and second thing is it leads to frustration. You know what happens when this thing happens? Their entire ability, even things in which they are good, it goes to drain. It decreases badly. And then very silently they start, I won't use the word hate. I won't use the word hate, that they start hating you, but they start avoiding you. They start avoiding. Student, that your kid will start avoiding you. Right? Because they know that what would happen. The moment you say something, means he or she will say something, and if you start comparing, so they will start hiding the things from you. Don't do that. Never compare. Right? Everyone in this world is unique. Possible that he or she might be getting some less score, right? But truly speaking, scores, academic scores, they are not at all everything, right? Life is completely different. The game of life is completely different, right? Make them good fighter. That is, in any of the situation, they should be able to fight it out, right? In our way, that is written that never leave money, never leave large amount of money for your kid. क्यों? कि अगर जो लड़का अच्छा हुआ तो खुद पैसे कमा लेगा, और अगर जो लड़का बुरा हुआ तो सारे पैसे गवा देगा. The idea is, don't give money, give them education. Give them education. Because when this is given, right, under any circumstances, he'll fight back. Even if the money is lost, he'll gain it back. Right? So the whole idea of telling this entire part is just one. We don't want that our kid should be having frustrated mind, or he or she should be having less efficiency and finally avoiding us. Right? Don't compare. Never ever compare. Right? Now this is easy to say. I know many people, it is like in their habit. It is like in their habit. So I would say one more thing into this. There is something what is called as the respect. Respect. After last time's lecture, I got two emails. Now those emails, they were, I'll not say that they were very irritating email. It's fine. You can write whatever you like, and it's absolutely fine. I take it very positively. But when it was mentioned, how can you say that मेरे लड़के में तो अकल ही नहीं है? Gentlemen, I don't know whether you are listening to this or not, but when we say कि उसमें अकल नहीं है, right? So that thing is, तो it goes from generation to generation, है ना? Right? So if you say that he has got no brains, obviously he must have received that thing, right? I need not say more. So don't insult them. Don't insult them. It is very much necessary, because see, respect is something which we always seek. We always feel कि बस मुझे respect मिलना चाहिए. but we don't give, right? That's why there's one thing, I don't know whether you like it or not, but give respect to get respect, right? Give respect to get respect. See, otherwise, so all of you are very learned, right? But I'm no one to tell you this, but this is what I'm telling you from my life. I have trained thousands of students over the stretch of 25 plus years. I have never come across a bad student. Never ever I have come across a bad student, even today, right? When students, many of the students now, so they are like cardiologists or neurologists in many of the countries, and when they approach, right, you feel so good for them. So the thing is, this is very, very important. Give respect to get respect, right? So never insult your kid. Never. It's okay. Sometimes they might go wrong, but that's where the maturity comes. Boss, you have seen. कहते हैं ना कि हमने तुमसे ज़्यादा दिवाली देखी है. No doubt about it. Right? We have seen more Diwalis than our kids. But then, if we have seen more Diwali, so then that also leads to maturity, no? Patience and maturity. Okay. So this is my suggestion. Yes, you can always differ. You can always tell me that if I'm wrong, no problems. Absolutely fine. But just give it a try. Give it a try. Your kid would be very happy. The second thing, this is learn your bacha to visualize. This is so important. When we say that yes, talk to your kid, ठीक है बात करो. क्या बात करें? Right? Ask, teach them the power of visualization. Now, what is visualize? Visualize means what? Visualize means it's like, say, for example, which is the best computer, right? Best laptop you want, right? If money is not a problem, what is the best laptop you want to go for? Now, suddenly, when this question is asked, or if I ask you, which is the best place you want to visit if money is not a problem? Best place to visit in the world to visit, right? Which is that best place? And suddenly we feel कि अरे यार क्या आंसर दें? Should we say Disneyland? Should we say USA? Should we say Egypt? क्या? Because we have never thought of it, right? Visualization is when a question is asked, to what range can you think of? Search for it. When we say, many times we ask this question that you want to become a doctor, okay. Where do you see 10 years? Where do you see yourself 10 years from now, plus 10 years? Now, if they say, yes, I want to go for research, if they are very specific that this is what I really want to achieve, right? I always tell them, write it down. When you write, you become accountable. You become accountable. What is accountable? Accountable means you have written something. When you read it, you feel like अब तो यार ये करना पड़ेगा. If you don't write, it evaporates. Seriously, right? It evaporates. You come across a brilliant idea. You come across a brilliant idea, and then if you don't write it, if you don't implement it, that idea will evaporate after some time, and then you'll keep on remembering कि यार क्या था. After some time, when you come across someone who has implemented it and who is getting so much of success, you feel like अरे ये idea तो मुझे पहले आया था. But no, it doesn't make any value. Sorry. So make a habit of writing. Right. In many of my lectures, I've talked about that one should always be having one idea book. Idea book. Even if it is the craziest idea, do write it. Do write it. And you get so much of success. because after completion of my medical education, when I thought of that, chalo, now I should also go into the field of information technology. Everyone scolded. Right? Everyone was against me except my father. My father said, no worries, go, do it. Right? But give your heart and soul and do the best. Within the span of 16 months, right, I acquired 23 international accreditations and became tech evangelist, tech evangelist for Novel USA. For Novel USA. There are only such three posts in the world, right? So this was done. After that, did so many things into IT. Did photography, right, at a very good level. I got the entire Canon gear, right? Three professional cameras with 9 lenses. One of the lenses with attachment, it goes to the level of 1000 mm, right? So the thing is, when you write, you are you are tempted to do it better and better because you have written it. It never goes out of the mind. Teach your kids this thing, and this thing can be taught only when you start doing it. You might be feeling that, okay, I am doing this job but I am not happy, right? If you feel like that, right, whatever the job you are doing, you are not happy, you feel like that you have got still more potential possible, but but no one recognized it, that what is your extra potential. That is because you never let it happen. So when you write, you will come across that, yes, मैं तो ये भी कर सकता हूँ, मैं वो भी कर सकता हूँ, right? You'll come across so many options, and who knows that you'll go to higher levels. But if your kid at this age, if he starts doing this, right, and kids, they do it when they see that their parents are doing it, right? When they know that they are also writing, so automatically the kid will also start writing this. He'll also start visualizing. So it was like just before, I think yesterday only, I saw a video, a girl of 8 years, right? 8 years, and she was lifting 50 plus kilogram in weightlifting. That was amazing. I got one more video, right? I can share that video. Again, the girl who is of just 8 years, and she was reciting Bhagavad Gita, and she was knowing five Upanishads. Upanishads. And the beauty was the pronunciation. They were so clear, absolutely clear. 8 years. 8 years. The moment it was said, okay, Adhyay 8, and she started, right? Now, we say कि 8 साल का तो बच्चा, right? See, this is the thing. Just Google and you will find the 14-year-old girl. 14-year-old girl. She is postgraduate in chemistry, right? Now she is waiting. Harvard University has invited her. You know, the trouble is she's too young. So she is waiting that the day I become 17 so that I can go to Harvard University. So these are the kids, but every kid has got some brilliance. We need to nurture them properly. So this visualization, this is vital. Tell them that whatever your dreams are, write, likho. Whether it is like they might write onto their laptop or they might write into the physical book, anything is fine. Previously, I used to write into the book. Now I write it on my iPad, but I do it regularly. Makes a big difference, right? So this is the second thing. First was don't compare, and the second was teach them the art of visualization. The third thing, I might hurt you when I say this thing, that we all are very bad listeners. बहुत मजा आता है सलाह देने में, but we don't listen. Listen to them. Listen to them. Sorry. especially in medical field. Why? Why medical field? There is so much of stress, long courses, right? Long subjects. Then performance anxiety, that other students they are good, language problem, right? All these things they are there. There is so much of uncertainty. In all these cases, that daughter or that son of yours, right? They want to express themselves. They want to express. They need someone who can really listen to them. At times, few students they call up. You'll be surprised. I without speaking a single word, I just say, ha, okay, okay, right? They keep on speaking for more than 20 minutes. I speak for hardly 2 minutes, and then that call is over. But yes, I know that the my advice for 2 minutes that's like a very not very there is a rocket science in it. But they really wanted that कोई हमारी बात सुने. Seriously, right? Listen to them. Listen to them. उससे उनका ना मन हल्का हो जाता है. Then they feel relaxed and they will be able to focus much better. Right? So instead of giving advice at every point, अरे ये करो तुम ये करो नहीं पढ़ते नहीं पढ़ती, no, don't do that. In medical, at least students they are pretty responsible, and then we are over here. We keep on telling them that on what path they should really learn the subjects. And very true, that will come the last point. But sometimes the environment is so bad that they drift, they distract from their path. But yes, that's where we have to take care of them, right? It will come as we talk about. But at least listen to them. The third point. Now, the fourth point is where you have to really work hard. Work hard in the sense, yes, you have to at least spend some time. So, regarding this, so it was easy, no comparison. Fine, we don't have to really spend any extra time for that, right? Give them the power of visualization. So, this is like when you are doing, they will start doing it automatically, right? Third is when we say that listen to them. This is also fine, right? We just listen to them. But the fourth point, this is typical for medical students, right? That is the parents of medical students. Know something about their medical subjects. Really? Yes. My father, right? He was in bank, right? Absolute purely commerce. But he was knowing name of all the bones. And it was a great pleasure, right? Because I studied from BJ Medical College. So when I used to, from living in hostel, when I used to go home, right, I used to tell my father that, okay, see, this is humerus, right? This is clavicle, this is scapula. So he used to remember it. And after some time, he will repeat it, right? Or he might ask few questions and then he'll be asking more questions. Trust me, that that created such a strong bond. And at the same time I was learning it more effectively because it gives so much of pleasure. There is something what is called as the Kirlian photography, right, where the aura is photographed. Aura, right? This is a person, but then they say because of the electromagnetic field, right, which is around our body, this is what is called as the Kirlian photography, right? It is very much possible, Kirlian photography, with special cameras, right? This thing can be taken. You'll find this is a proven medical thing. This is that when you are learning any subject with pleasure, you'll find that your learning efficiency improves, right? When you learn it with pleasure. Say, best example, I tell you, movies, right? You go to a movie. You go to a movie. If I ask you a question that have you ever cried while watching a movie? Now you are so mature, right? Even movie or serial, right? You are so mature. You know that nothing has happened to these actors, but still you feel like crying. You feel sad, right? This is when your involvement with that actor, with that character is so much that you start feeling it on yourself. It never happens with our subjects, right? This is what we need to teach to our kids, that like that movie, if they start loving their subjects, so that subject will love them back, and they will always learn it with happiness. Best advantage, you'll remember it forever. You'll remember it for very long. You don't won't have to cram it. Say for example, you ask any of the student, right, your son, that you have got girlfriend. If he tells yes, then is it necessary for him to cram the name or cram the details of the girlfriend? No, it comes by itself, है ना? So even you can also go back into your past, but still we remember them, with all the details. That's the thing. Why it never happens with the subjects. So that's the thing. Love the subject. Subject would love you back, and you'll always be able to remember it very crisply. This is very, very vital, right? These are the things which we need to teach, right? So for that, know something about their medical subjects. Now see, in medical, there are 19 subjects. 19 subjects. Unless and until parent is a doctor, hardly any of the parent would be knowing even the name of these 19 subjects. Forget about the details. Forget about the details. No, this is not good. So when your son or daughter, they take medical admission first year, right? What's the big deal in knowing something about anatomy or physiology or biochemistry, right? Why not? These are the prime subjects of first year. So once you know about that, okay, in anatomy, they dissect, they see these bones, they see these muscles, right? All those things. Physiology, how things function. Biochemistry is like complete biological reactions, right? All the complete metabolism, etc. So when we talk about these subjects, even if you know something about these subjects, right, you'll be able to talk with your son or daughter at their frequency. At their frequency. If you ask them कि अच्छा liver का वाइवा था कैसा रहा, right, and then they will talk more about it. Otherwise, if you don't ask in that language, so they'll know that my dad or my mom is not knowing anything about my subject. Many times I have heard they say रहने दो आपको नहीं समझ आएगा. Right? They are frustrated. So instead, why not to be an intelligent parent, right? A knowledgeable parent as compared to just paying the fees. Because our prime purpose is, that's why you are spending so many rupees, because you want that your kid should be best of the best doctor, right? So that's the reason this extra effort is needed. This extra effort is needed. We focus on money, right? No, spend some time on their subjects. Trust me, it will make a big difference. Huge difference. And the fifth and the last thing, meet some of their friends. Now, this is a word of caution. That's India. Your kid is over here, right? He flies to another country. He flies to another country. In that country, right, suddenly there is no restriction. There are so many negative elements who are ready to distract him or her. How will be possible? How will it be possible so that he keeps on having good focus and stays on the correct track? No, it is very easy to drift. So that's the reason that it is very much vital that these are the friends. Train them, train your kid about this. Meet the friends. Let them talk about their friends. Because when we do this, right, we'll be getting that important hint that whether that kid is on the correct track or not. Very vital. Very, very vital. Because when we talk about their friends, right, not only will be able to save our son or daughter from going on any of the incorrect path, but at the same time we can refocus their brain to become a good doctor in case if they have drifted, right? So you got a chance, because when you talk with their parents, be smart and you'll be able to decipher something which is so vital, right? So very simple, 5 things, but if you implement, it will make a big difference, right? If you make a summary, the one was, right, let's make it still easier. Don't compare, right? Give them the power of visualization. Now, see, these are the keywords, right? So even if you just remember these 5 things, what's been written over here, it would be more than enough. Listen to them, right? Listen, be a very patient listener, right? Learn what? Learn 19 subjects, right? You don't have to learn all the subjects in full detail, no, but just learn about those subjects. Learn something, right? Learn something and meet their friends. These are the 5 basic tips. You follow it and see the difference. Because what we really want is that our son or daughter should be very successful. There are numbers which are mentioned over here, right? There is a number which is mentioned over here. So you can send your queries on that number. Those queries, they will reach to me automatically, right? And I'll incorporate those answers next time. Okay. So anything you want to ask at this point, you can always ask. This would be our schedule for the next week: Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. On Wednesday at 8 p.m., we'll be talking about National Exit Test and PLAB. We are conducting these sessions every week with that hope that you may ask any question, you may ask any of your queries, and if those things are rectified immediately, so it will give you a very strong, powerful boost that this is how we must proceed, right? On Saturday, again at 8 p.m., we'll be going into the details of USMLE. And as promised, this time we'll also be talking about step 3 in more detail, right? And on Sunday, we'll meet again. So this is like meeting the parents. So we'll will come up with something more. Right? The final target, your kid, I would say our kids, they should be the best doctors, right? Whether they work in India, they work in UK, they work in USA, or any of the other country, right? They should be the best of the best, and they should be proud of ourselves. All right. So thank you so much. Right. Wish you a very happy Sunday and stay in touch. Take care and bye bye. See you.